my name is Emma, and today I am giving you guys my April book haul and wrap-up. Before I jump into all of the amazing books that I read as well as bought and received this past month, I have two really special offers that I want to give to you guys, one of those including a giveaway. So firstly, this video is partially sponsored by Amino, which is this really awesome new bookish app that I encourage you all to download, so I'm going to be telling you a little bit about that. Amino has a lot of really cool features like participating in polls and discussion topics with other Aminoers. You can create a blog post, whether that be your own personal book review, something you just want to talk about. You can explore different people's pages and see what authors and books are their favorites. They also have different chat rooms where you can talk with whether it be your friends or with just book lovers in general about different types of books, different genres. There's like a lot of different book clubs on there. It's a super expansive app. There's so many different things you can do with it, and I just think it's a really great addition to the book community. Now, I have only recently started using Amino, but I quickly learned the ropes of the app, and I've been really enjoying it so far. If you'd like to follow me on Amino, my name is emmmabooks with 3 M's spelled exactly like my channel, and then we can interact on there as well as on YouTube and Twitter and Tumblr and whatever else we can talk about books on. So far, I've really been enjoying the polls. I feel like a lot of different readers have some super interesting ideas, whether it just be about everyone's reading, about specific books or genres. I've just had a really great time enacting in all of these polls with people. And I've also really enjoyed going through the newsfeed. You can either click on latest, which is all of the newer posts that are coming in, or featured, which are really popular posts, and there's just so much that's on this website, and I've just been having a really great time interacting with it. So I encourage you all to download the Amino app. There are 2 links below for iOS and Android that you can download the app through there. But I would totally recommend checking out this new bookish app. The second order of business is something that I think is really cool and I've never heard of a publisher doing before, so I'm really excited to share this information with you guys. If you didn't know, although how could you not know, the Hidden Oracle, the first book in the Trials of Apollo series by Riordan, just hit shelves this May 3rd. The Trials of Apollo follows the god Apollo, who has recently angered his father Zeus and is cast away to live on the streets of New York City away from Olympus as a normal 14-year-old boy. And so through this experience, this 4,000-year-old god is like a normal teenager with all of this knowledge as he's trying to gain back the respect of his father to become the god that he actually is. And of course, as you can imagine, lots of catastrophes happen in this world, and so I'm so excited for this book. And with the release, there are 5 retail-specific different editions that you can get from different stores, where they will each include a different insert based on which store you go to. Firstly, the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition includes a Camp Half-Blood letter written from Apollo to Zeus. Second, the Target exclusive edition includes an illustrated map of Apollo's trials at Camp Half-Blood. Thirdly, the Books A Million exclusive edition includes an Apollo bumper sticker which says, "I'd rather be driving by Sun Chariot." Fourth, the Walmart exclusive edition includes a 2-sided bookmark, with one being Apollo, the god who is the main character of the story, as well as his companion Lester, who's another character we'll learn about in this book. And finally, number 5 is the Costco exclusive edition, which includes an illustrated poster of the Plague of Secrets from the Hidden Oracle. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to go out and get my copy yet, but I'm definitely really excited for all of these special inserts, whether you just want one specific one or you want to collect all of them, like I'm sure all Riordan fans would like to. But while I wait for my copy, Disney Hyperion is being kind enough to host a giveaway for you guys, where you can win 1 copy of an exclusive edition of the Trials of Apollo, the Hidden Oracle, as well as a surprise insert. So I have created a Rafflecopter giveaway for that. I believe it'll last maybe like a week or 2. As soon as I get my copy, I'm going to post it on Instagram, hopefully to get more entries and get more people excited about all of these exclusive editions. So with that link, you can do a bunch of different things like following people on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and whatnot in order to increase your chance of winning. But I am super excited for this book. I'm really excited for all of these exclusive editions, and I would really recommend checking out that giveaway. So now that I've presented you guys with some of these awesome offers that I really recommend you guys taking advantage of, let's move on to the book haul. So in the month of April, I bought/received 15 books, but I only bought 1 of those. Can I get a round of applause for myself, because I am so proud. This month was my birthday, and I had a lot of amazing friends that decided to send me birthday gifts of the book variety. So for my birthday, I did an unboxing where I showed you guys all of the books that I got and talked a little bit about them and who sent me them and whatnot. And so these are all of the books that are in this unboxing, because I've already talked really in depth about all of them. I'm not going to go over them in this video because I basically already hauled them. So if you're interested in finding out more about my thoughts on these books and who sent me what and just my general excitement for all of the amazing gifts I got, which I am so thankful for, you can check out that unboxing, which is going to be linked in the description of this video. Today, and actually today I received another package from my friend Kelly from Kelly's Book Spill. I didn't realize it was hers. I thought they were on my book, so I opened them, so I couldn't do an unboxing, Kelly. I'm so sorry. But I can show them to you guys now. So the first book she got me is called Shadowhunters Myths, Discovering the Legends Behind the Mortal Instruments. And so I feel like a bad Shadowhunter fan because I've never heard about this book, but I'm so happy I have another Shadowhunters book. So thank you so much, Kelly, for this. From what I've gathered, it's kind of similar to the Shadowhunters Codex, which has all of the information on Shadowhunters and the entire world. So as I'm flipping through it, I'm seeing different chapters on specific downworlders and demons and just things about the shadow world, which I think is really awesome. I'm really excited to read this. Something I really love about big franchise book series is that they always have little spin-off books like this that are super quick and fun to read and always just contribute more to your love for the story. So thank you so much, Kelly, for Shadowhunters Myths, because I'm super excited to read it. And the next book Kelly sent me for my birthday is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Funnily enough, last year Kelly sent me 2 Colleen Hoover books too, and I really enjoyed the one that I've read so far, but I've been hearing amazing things about November 9, and just Colleen Hoover in general. Everyone loves Colleen Hoover. She's fantastic. I really enjoyed Ugly Love, and again, I've heard such great things about November 9. It sounds like a super interesting book, and I'm so thankful you got it for me, Kelly. I couldn't really expect anything less from you. So the synopsis of November 9 is basically these 2 characters named Fallon and Ben meet one day, the day before Fallon is meant to move across the country. So they spend her last day in LA together, and throughout the years they always meet together on November 9th, which is the day they met. And so it just sounds like a super cute romance story. Colleen Hoover always throws in these slips and twists and all this interesting stuff, and I'm really excited for November 9. I have wanted to read like all of Colleen Hoover's books. Are all on my TBR, but November 9 is definitely at one of the top of them, so I'm so happy I finally have it. So thank you so much, Kelly. So throughout the month of April, I had been uploading quite a few of unboxings from different subscription services that decided to send me their book and asked for me to do a review of all of the different items and stuff that was in it. So the next 3 books I've already shown in all of those unboxings, and all of the unboxings will be linked below if you're interested in seeing all of the items that accompany these books. The first of those books being Dark Energy by Robinson Wells. This is a sci-fi novel from Fantasy and Sci-Fi Books, an unboxing service that sends mostly fantasy and sci-fi books. So Dark Energy is all about an alien invasion that comes to this small town, and it's all about that town and the people in it getting adjusted to this new influence of extraterrestrials in their lives. And so lately I've been in such a sci-fi mood, and a couple of the books that I read this past month are all alien, so when I got another alien book, I'm like, this is so great for me. It looks like it's going to be super fast-paced and just going to be like a really fun sci-fi alien story, and I'm really excited for it. So thank you so much, Fantasy and Sci-Fi Books, for sending it to me. The next unboxing that I uploaded to YouTube was from Fairy Loot, which is a very new subscription service, and they sent me The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Corey. This book was a part of their retelling theme, and it is a retelling of Aladdin, which I think is super cool. So rather than the story being focused around the character who finds the lamp, the main character is the genie in the lamp who gets thrust back into the human world, and that's clearly a very big experience for somebody who hasn't seen the human world for hundreds of years. I actually had not heard of The Forbidden Wish until I did that unboxing, and as soon as I posted it, I got comments upon comments upon comments about how much people loved this book. So while I hadn't heard anything about it previously, I've heard nothing but good things since, so I'm really excited to read it. The concept of writing a book about a genie is so interesting to me because there's so much history behind that character or that creature, and it just sounds super cool, so it's going to be my first genie book ever, which I'm really excited for. So the final unboxing that I did for April was from Owl Crate for their dystopian theme of April, and that book was Flawed by Cecilia Ahern. Like I said, Flawed is a dystopian novel. It's all about this world where if you make a mistake, you're branded as flawed, and that has some life-changing consequences. And so I feel like it just fits into all of like my favorite dystopians ever. Just, you know, that feeling you get when you think about all the time you spent reading The Hunger Games and Divergent and Shatter Me and The Darkest Minds. It's just, I feel like it's going to be one of those books where I'm just super attached to this crazy dystopian world, and I'm really excited to read it. So thank you so much, Owl Crate, for sending me that April box. And then finally we get to the one book that I bought this month, which was The Glittering Cord by Rochelle Mead. I had hauled an arc of this book last month and actually read The Glittering Cord this month, so I'm going to be talking about that later, and I will have a review up eventually. But I bought this book as a part of the Rochelle Mead signing in New York City, so It is signed, my friends, and I love it. I love Rochelle Mead. I met her 3 times in 1 year. I'm really, really obsessed. But if you want to see the vlog for that day where I go through my whole experience of meeting Rochelle Mead and being in the conversation for the Glittering Court, you can go check that out in the description as well. I've had a video for every single book I've hauled this month. That's really weird. So like I said, I was sent an ARC previously by Penguin, so thanks so much Penguin for giving me the opportunity to read this book early. But they also sent me a couple of little goodies concerning the Glittering Court afterwards that I really want to share with you guys. So the first is this cool envelope-y card thing. So the Glittering Court is there, but it has the crown and the flowers here, which I think is really cool. And then you open it, and it's all about the different characters, and it talks about the different gemstones, which is pretty relevant in the book if you've read it. I just think it's super cool. I've had a lot of fun reading this little pamphlet, and I just think that this little cover is so pretty. And they also sent me some temporary tattoos, which are pretty cool, and I haven't filmed my review of this yet, but I might use these tattoos in my review. So they sent a diamond, a sapphire, and an emerald, which are the top 3 gems that are involved in the Glittering Court. The other tattoo says the Glittering Court in the font on the cover, and the last one is backwards, so I don't know if I can read this, but I see love and freedom, risk everything for freedom. I think it says stop to nothing for love. I really can't read backwards to save my life, but I think that this little pamphlet and these tattoos are really cool, so thanks so much Penguin for sending it to me. So those are all of the books that I bought / received in the month of April. Let's move on to the wrap-up. Now I read / listened to 7 books in the month of April. If you watched my March book haul and wrap-up, I did not do so good in March, and I was feeling really down on myself for reading, but clearly I picked myself up and I had one of the best reading months since like January, so I'm really, really excited about that. I really loved everything I read, and I'm super excited to show you guys what consists under that list. So the first book that I did read in the month of April is The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. I will have a full in-spoilery review for you guys coming soon, so be sure to check that out once it's uploaded. I give The Glittering Court 3.5 stars out of 5. I really, really enjoyed the first half of it, but the second half definitely had a big decline for me, and I did have some faults with it. My main thing that stands out is that it was super fast-paced to the point of it being like super abnormal. I know we complain about slow-paced books all the time, but I think fast-paced books that are too fast-paced can be equally as detrimental to the quality of the book. 150 pages in, a million things have happened, and the book isn't even halfway done, and it's just, it goes over a very long period of time, and the events felt really rushed, so that was my biggest problem with it. My favorite part about the book was actually while they were in the Glittering Court and doing all of the tests and then doing all of the fancy parties that come with it. I guess I'm just super girly, and I really like that stuff. It kind of reminded me of The Selection, so if you like the Selection series, you might like The Glittering Court. But I just found it really interesting, and I had so much fun reading it because Rochelle Mead is one of my all-time favorite authors. She just has this addicting writing style where even though I wasn't enjoying some of the parts of the book, I still wanted to keep going and I still wanted to find out more. And so I just really appreciate her as an author, and I'm really interested to see what more comes from The Glittering Court. If you want to hear more of my thoughts, again, definitely check out that review once it's uploaded. The next book I read in the month of April is The Blood Between Us by Zach Brewer. This one is another arc that I was sent by HarperCollins, so thank you so much HarperCollins for sending me this book. I love Zach Brewer so much. He is the nicest guy in the world. I love his books, and so as soon as he had a new one coming out, I was like, I need it. So this is another one that you guys will be getting a review of. This one will be spoiler free, so you don't have to have read The Blood Between Us to see that once it is all ready and uploaded. The Blood Between Us follows 2 siblings named Adrian and Grace who have never gotten along all of their life. Adrian is adopted and Grace has never really accepted him as part of the family, and so throughout the years their parents die in a lab explosion or a lab fire, and Adrian moves across the country because he feels no ties to Grace at the moment. Eventually he's forced to come back and live at the school that his parents taught at and integrate and interact with Grace again. And so throughout this whole adoption that Adrian has to go through, there's some freaky things going on in this school. Someone is trying to contact Adrian and tell him that Grace possibly knows more about their parents' death than she lets on. There's just a lot of weird things going on that Adrian has to deal with, and I absolutely loved this book. I was super excited to read it because I've only read middle grade from Zach Brewer, so seeing him do well with the YA genre made me really happy. I give this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason I docked a star is because it's too short. It needed to be longer. I needed more. I just wanted more from every single scene. I was just reading, I was like, no, the chapter doesn't end there. Like, I want more. I need more. You can't just end it there, Zach Brewer. It was fantastic. I would really recommend this book if you were trying to get out of a slump, because for months it was taking me like anywhere from 2 weeks to a full month to read a physical book, no matter how long it was. It was really embarrassing, to be honest. But I read The Blood Between Us in 2 days. It was just such a pick-me-up for me. I had so much fun reading it, and I really, really enjoyed it. So this is a book I would highly recommend. And if you guys are kind of interested with what I'm telling you now, definitely check out that spoiler-free review when it's soon uploaded. And if you guys are interested in what I'm saying about The Blood Between Us and you want to hear more about it, definitely check out that spoiler review once it goes live on my channel. The next 3 books are part of a series on audiobook that I'm currently listening to that I have had so much fun with so far. And that is the first 3 books in the Lux series, Obsidian, Onyx, and Opal by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So I do have these in physical format, but what I'm trying to do with my audiobooks is pick things up on audiobook that I feel like I haven't had the time to pick up on physical book. And the Lux series fits under that because I've been wanting to read it for so long, I just haven't gotten around to it. I freaking love the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Oh my gosh. Again, I've been listening to audiobooks maybe like one a week, one every 2 weeks. I listened to Obsidian in 3 days. I mean, it's a short audiobook, but like, it's a little excessive. I have just been consumed with this world. I just think it's so interesting. I think it's so well written. I'm kind of planning on doing a spoiler-free series review for it just because it's at that level where I just gotta gush all the feels, and it's so, so good. It's not a literary masterpiece whatsoever. My friend Sarah from Sarah Without an H described it as somebody told her that the Lux series is kind of like candy. There's no nutritional value, but it's so good. And that's the Lux series in just a couple of words. Sometimes you just need a fun book. We don't always have to be challenging ourselves as readers. We don't always have to be reading complicated philosophical masterpieces. We could read a fun book every once in a while. And the Lux series is a really fun book, really fun series that I'm really, really enjoying. The next book that I read in the month of April is Paperweight by Meg Haston. I got this through HarperCollins through my friend Michael, who interned through them for a while. So Paperweight follows this girl named Stevie who is forced into an eating disorder treatment center for 6 months. Now Stevie, like all eating disordered patients who go into recovery, do not want to be there at first, and she's really struggling to adapt to this new environment that she feels like she doesn't need to be a part of. And also, while she is receiving treatment for a disease she feels that she doesn't need help for, she is coming up on the anniversary of the date that she killed her brother. So it's a really emotional time for her. It's a very emotional book, and I loved every single second of it. Although being anorexic since I was 11 years old, I've never read an anorexic novel or just a book about eating disorders in general. So this is my first experience. I don't know if it's just because it is that first experience, but I love Paperweight so much. I thought it was so unbelievably accurate. I found out so much about my illness from reading this book. I'm reading this and I'm like, hey, wait a second. I've thought that before. Why haven't I picked up on the fact that I've thought that before? It was just super accurate, and that's all I can ask for in books about mental illness. I do want to stress a really big trigger warning on this book. If you have suffered from an eating disorder, make sure you're in a really good mind state before picking up this book, because the rawness and the truth that I love about this book can be pretty detrimental if you aren't in the correct mindset and place in your recovery to read it. But I love this book so much. If you're looking for a book about eating disorders, please, please, please pick up Paperweight. It was fantastic. I'm so, so happy I read it. I can't explain to you enough how much it means to me to find the book that is so close to my heart and like reading my own thoughts on paper. The next book that I read this month is Made You Up by Francesca Zappia. I don't know how to pronounce that. This is another book that I got through Michael as a part of ARCs that he gave me while working at HarperCollins. And this is actually also a mental illness book following a girl who has schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a really interesting topic in YA, I think, because mostly we hear about anxiety and depression and suicide, sometimes OCD, sometimes PTSD, but that's really it. I've never heard of a book about a schizophrenic before, so I was really, really excited to read Made You Up, and it was just another one that blew my mind. This is all about a girl named Alex who actually has early onset schizophrenia. It doesn't normally happen. The symptoms don't really show until adulthood, but she kind of receives her diagnosis at 7 or 10 years old, which is really, really young. The book starts off with the first hallucination she ever had in a supermarket where she met this boy with really bright blue eyes, and it turns out that according to her mother and everyone in the store, everything she saw was happening wasn't actually happening. And fast forward years later, she goes to a new school and she thinks the bright-eyed blue boy is there. So it's all about the struggle of her adapting to a new school with this illness and trying to decipher what is real and what is not real, and is this boy real or is he not real, and was that experience real or was it not real? As someone who suffered from schizophrenic form, which is a very, very short-term acute form of schizophrenia, I can tell you that this is another very accurate representation of schizophrenia. What I really like about this book is it focuses on visual hallucinations, which are much less common, especially in the media and literature when it comes to schizophrenia, and that's what I suffered from. So again, it felt so nice to read a book about a character that I could sincerely relate to. Just the book alone, regardless of the mental illness aspect, this was a fantastic book. It was absolutely a masterpiece. Whether you're looking for a book about mental illness or not, Made You Up is going to be the perfect book for you. I think there's something in it for everyone. It was fascinating, it was entertaining, it was heart-wrenching and emotional, and oh my god, this book was so good. I loved Made You Up. I'm so happy I read it, and I seriously recommend it. I went off on a tangent on those last two books. I'm really sorry. I eventually want to do a mental illness books recommendation video, but I want to read more so I have more of a repertoire to choose from. So you'll have more of like an in-depth kind of talk about these books and future books I'm going to be talking about mental illness, just because it's such a special topic to my heart. I just looked at the clock. My class is starting in a minute. Oops. So that is it for my April book haul and wrap up. I received some amazing books this month. I read some amazing books this month. I just had a really great month in the world of reading, and I'm super thankful for that. That is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon for a new one. Bye!